guys, guess who's super sick?
Me, always.
I was super sick the last couple days in Bali, and that led to my immune system plummeting to the ground. I had a cold, which turned into like sinus issues, which now I'm like losing my voice. It's great, you guys. It's great. I wanted to post something for World Mental Health Day. Since I'm still new on the platform, I kind of wanted to just talk about my experience with mental health and answer a couple questions that I've had. Why is there a hair? So I just decided to answer a couple questions that will clear a few things up because I'm new on this channel and no one knows me and I'm irrelevant. So let's get moving. I'm really sorry if there's like a ton of loud noises. We just got to Vietnam like 5 days ago, but we've been in Da Nang, Vietnam for about 2 days, and there's a lot of construction going on, but it's gorgeous here, so I have really no complaints. What is your mental health issue? I have depression and anxiety. Yeah, I don't know, there's nothing really else to say about that. I'm gonna give my explanation because this is how I've kind of dealt with it in my life. Is depression is where you kind of live in the past, and then anxiety is where you live in the future. So I find it very, very hard to live in the present dealing with both of those things. Do you have any medication and or therapy? Yes. I was in talk therapy for quite a bit. I started in college going to like a free clinic, and then I went to a really awesome lady in Atlanta, and I also am on medication. I take Prozac and Wellbutrin, and I also have Xanax for panic attacks and stuff like that. How long have you had mental health problems? This is kind of a long one. I've had these problems for a lot longer than I originally thought because I wrote it off as me being like shy and antisocial and me just growing up and being like a teen and emo and whatever. I guess you would say I started showing like symptoms in middle school. I was kind of like bounced around quite a few friend groups and was very used, and because I was like the quiet kid and I couldn't really stick up for myself, I don't know, so like that kind of brought like a lot of like self-hate and be louder. That kind of brought forth like a lot of problems with like my self-worth, I guess. And then moving on to high school, there was like a lot of more like verbal bullying. Shout out to because you're a big old bitch and you called me a whale every single day before school, sitting in the hallway just waiting for me. That was great. But that same year I did find a lot of really good friends who were in the same boat as me. I mean, I wasn't like a cool kid or anything like that. I found like my little crew who were like emo like me and like liked weird things and like to be silly and whatever, and they helped me kind of get out of my shell a little bit. I would say my senior year of high school was the toughest. That was just like a big year of change for me. If you don't know my backstory, I grew up in the same town my whole life from like pre-K to my junior year, and everything was such a big deal, and I was on the dance team and I was just like finally getting somewhere, and I was in my element, and then I had to leave, which was fine because I ended up making the choice because it was for my family, and they were like, no, we can stay or we can go, it's really up to you. So I made the choice, and I was like, no, like if it's just me wanting to stay here, like please, let's go. That led to a lot of change. Me going to a new school my very last year when I was already really emotional and sensitive, and that led me to self-harming, which was not great. I could talk more about like those kinds of issues if you want me to in like another video, but I don't really want to go too deep into that right now. After senior year, college was fine. I definitely broke out of my shell a lot more. I made a lot of great friends, and I partied way too much, and I don't know, I kind of just like let loose, which was really nice. I definitely had major anxiety when it came to like dating. That's just like a whole nother thing. Moving into my adult life, it's definitely kind of like hovered above my head. Please stop. I think I realized that it was finally like depression and anxiety when I heard a lot more people talking about it, which is why I want to be more vocal about it, because I really thought that like, I was like fucking nuts. I thought I was crazy. I thought that I was just overly emotional. I thought I was sensitive. I thought I was just this weird kid that had all these weird issues and that it wasn't common. And that's definitely not the case. So I started talking about it, and my friends kind of opened up about their struggles and their problems and what they've been through their whole lives. And I've had family members come out to me too where they've struggled with depression and anxiety as well, and I think that kind of, we all didn't really understand it, but we kind of all like went on this like big journey with mental health together this past year, or like 2 years, where we started to go to more talk therapy and like get medicated and all that stuff. So it's been really good to be with people who understand and are in the exact same boat, because truly, like, I didn't know what was wrong with me for the longest time, and it felt like such a relief to know I wasn't the only one, not only ever, but like in my family. So that helped a lot. Do your friends and family know? Wow, I'm voice cracking like a lot. Yes, most people know. I am not shy about posting it online anymore. My family, like I just talked about, like we're all pretty open about it, and definitely a very anxious family. It's been a really great source of some good conversations with all of them. What therapy and medication have you tried, and have any worked for you? I originally was just on Prozac and had Xanax for just like those panic attacks or like those big situations. And they added Wellbutrin in about after a year, because the side effects from the Prozac were making me extremely tired. I could like fall asleep standing up. Like I was exhausted day after day after day, but I would sleep for like 12 hours. It was just nonstop. Like I would sleep for 12 hours. I would still be so exhausted. I'd go out and try and do things. I would like fall asleep while I was there. It was ridiculous. So I went to my doctor and he prescribed that, which he had hoped that it like kind of counteracts it a little bit, and it did, and it helped. But I think like adding more medication definitely made me more numb. So that's not great. I'm gonna talk to my psychiatrist whenever I get back from Asia about potentially getting off my medication, just because I want to use the methods that I've learned in my talk therapy, kind of just like let the emotions take me. I also, like I said, went to talk therapy. She's in Atlanta and she specializes in women's therapy and LGBT therapy, which is really cool. Going back to the medicine thing too, like I haven't cried in months, which is the weirdest thing for me, because I am such an emotional little being. I am so sensitive and have way too much empathy that I'm like, why am I not crying? It feels like it's trapped in me, like all the emotions that I need to cry, and I can't let them out. And that's another reason why I kind of want to get off of my medicine too, because I don't know, I need to feel those emotions again, even though they suck. But I hope that this time around, like I'll better understand them, if that makes sense. Does this affect your work and daily living? Yes. I work from home, so that's not ideal for people who have depression, because if you know anything about it, like you definitely like need a push to get out of bed. So most days you'll find me like working in bed, which is not good. That makes it harder for me to get up later in the day if I have something to do or an errands to run or whatever. So the best thing for me to do is to try and get out ASAP, like right when I wake up, and go to like a coffee shop and work and stuff, because that helps keep me going. Most days consist of me laying in bed, wanting and wishing that I could get up and do the things that I want to, but having absolutely no energy or desire to get up. That's why I definitely suggest getting moving if you're in the same position I am. What makes you feel calm? Listening to music, 100%, whether it's sad music or happy music or pump up jams or like literally anything. I think 80s music is like my go-to, just because it's like very nostalgic and makes me really happy. Also indie alternative sad songs. My moms have also suggested a couple meditation apps that have helped with like me being calm. Have I been doing them every day? No. Should I? Yeah. I'll work on that. What do you do in crisis? I definitely don't have the best coping mechanisms. It's something that I need to work on when I get home for sure. I tend to hide away from the outside world when I'm feeling depressed and anxious. Otherwise, I start to feel really antsy and like kind of out of body. And also it's the thoughts of whatever crisis situation that is going on keep playing over and over and over and over and over in my head. until I'm in a spiral, which is why I kind of just want to be like alone in the dark, because then I don't go down a spiral. What advice would you give to others who are suffering? Talk to your friends and your family and be completely open as much as you can. If they're your true friends, they are going to try and find any way to help you that they can, and hopefully open up about any stories that they have. And if they're not your true friends, they're gonna write you off and say you'll be fine and you'll get over it, and that's just not what you need. You don't need to feel dismissed, and you don't need to feel like something's wrong with you or that you need to deal with it on your own. So I would just say communication with your friends and your family is definitely the most important, so that you don't feel alone, because you're not alone. I would also say to take time to yourself, which is like the opposite, but the more that you know what triggers you in your emotions and what's happening inside your head, the better you can control it for future terms. Yeah, the better that you get to know the better that you know yourself, the better you can help yourself the next time that something shitty happens. What makes you smile? The beach, which is where I am right now, so I'm very happy. I'm not happy right now though, because I'm sick and I can't taste anything, and that makes me so sad, because food is like another thing that makes me smile. I love food. Food. My family and my friends, they make me smile. My group text with my girls at home is like the funniest thing and my driving force, and I just love them so much. And then my cat, Pico, who I miss very much. She's at home with her boyfriend Toulouse, and I'll see her very soon. I'll see her in like a month. Lastly, describe mental health in 5 words. I would say unpredictable, frustrating, exhausting, limiting, and different. Yeah. Yay, mental health. Let's all talk about it. Oh my god. Okay, I need to stop talking. Subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to talk to any of you guys if you have any questions about mental health, or if you're struggling, or if you need someone to talk to, please talk to me. My Instagram will be right here, and my Twitter, and all that fun stuff. So just feel free to add me and DM me if you have any questions about anything or just want to talk. Yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.